Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Las Vegas, Nevada, where the memorial torch honoring legendary owner Al Davis has just been lit, and we are set for football at Allegiant Stadium. Today we've got a fun little clash in the AFC, as it'll be the Denver Broncos taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. And we are underway here in Las Vegas. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their signal caller in his second year in the NFL now.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
And he'll work this one up to about the 38. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Once more with Harvey. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
It's a gain of a yard, and it's 3rd down.
So just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. On the sneak, it's Nix. He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. Only a few inches needed on the sneak. He didn't get it, and now it's 4th down.
No gain? Quarterback sneak? No gain? Aren't you supposed to get something out of that?
Yeah, needed a full yard there. On 4th down, out is the rookie 6th-round pick, Jeremy Crawshaw, to punt. Back deep for the Raiders is Trey Tucker. Yeah, he was looking for the check-up bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. So now it's the Raiders' turn to go on offense for the first time. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
I still remember back in 2013 when he was drafted out of West Virginia. He was coming off of back-to-back 4,000-yard seasons for the Mountaineers. Hadn't seen as much game time in recent years, but at one point, a capable starter in the NFL.
Off of play action, here's Smith. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only 1st down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on 2nd down.
Now he'll tuck this and run. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. Had some good yardage there, too, before he fumbled that football, Charles.
Yeah, just think about it this way. Running backs, as a general rule, they kind of know when the end of a run is near, and you notice how they cover up, right? They protect the football. Sometimes quarterbacks forget that out in the open field. After a while, you start to wonder, does the running back coach visit the quarterback coach and say, hey, I can help you with this. We can protect this and make sure we keep the ball.
Harvey now on 1st and 10. And he's got some space here. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 41 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries.
You know, I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
At the Raiders' 6-yard line.
Zone read to give to Harvey. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. R.J. Harvey, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Broncos are on the board first here in Vegas.
That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of the season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
What's good on the extra point? And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. They had to fumble on the last drive, wound up leading to the opening touchdown. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. Now Gino. To the left side, pass caught by Thornton. And he'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 30-yard line.
And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4. Now a run. Here's the first-round pick from April's draft. And this is going to be a Raiders first down as he's got this up to the 35-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Gino now to throw. And this a quick slant to Lockett. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Was certainly not an ideal first quarter for him. Remember, he lost the fumble earlier, and here he ends up on the ground with a sack.
And sometimes what happens when you make a mistake early, you get too cautious going forward. Just cover up the football and take care of it and be able to cut it loose. Otherwise, your offense is going to stall.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Pressure coming, and they got him once again. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
On fourth down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. And Marvin Mims deep for Denver. yards on the punt, 12 on the return. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10.
Their own 26-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out first and 10. On the ground, it's Harvey to start the drive. And he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 2nd and 13 forthcoming. Operating from the gun, here's Nix. That's taken in by Franklin. They find some open field here. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
We know play callers can be very creative in this game today, but sometimes when they've got receivers with speed like this, they don't need to design incredibly complex calls. Sometimes it's just get the ball in his hands and let him do his thing. In a sense, less can become more, and it was right there.
That's caught. It's Marvin Mims. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 19 yards that time for number 19.
A gain of 19 yards. And a Broncos first down.
Well, we can talk about it like it's just a basic route, but how about the timing on this one? Lined up on the right, runs a deep in route, and how about the throw? Right on the money. Bam, puts it right in there and on his hands. Nice completion, really good pickup.
No gain on the play there, second down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Second and 10. Now it's Nix. Setting up a screen for Harvey. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it's going to be third down and a ways to go here, third and 14.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
First down. First and goal, Denver.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
They'll run for the first time with Tyler Bidet. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Tyler Beatty taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Broncos have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. So, partner, it was a passing game that drove them down the field, but when they get close, they trust that man in the backfield, and he took them home.
And they trust their offensive line as well, because so many of these units, they specialize in either pass protection or run blocking. This group shows its versatility and gets both done on this drive.
Bucs will look to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0.
Makes the score Broncos.
So this
14,
drive spans 7 plays. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now the Vegas offense heading back out there. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Looking to put a drive together. They'll start with the option. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 9 yards on the first down. Keeper, and it's 2nd and 1.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it, and while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
Gino going to hand it to Genty. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. CD, put on your OC cap here. What do? 2nd and 1, you get stuffed. Now 3rd and 1.
You know, in the old days, I would have said we're going to line up and we're going to run the same darn play and we're going to get it right. But nowadays, as tough as defenses are, I want some mobility. I want some movement, putting the ball in the hands of my quarterback and giving him a run-pass option.
They only needed 1 yard on 3rd down. They get 10 instead by going to the air.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Throwing now is Gino. They'll try and set up the screen to Genty. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
And we constantly talk about people being on the same page. In this situation, the two of them saw the play with the same eyes. They understood where the open spaces were going to be, and they found a way to get there to pick up a new set of downs.
Here's Smith. Finding room at midfield. And finally brought down at the 43. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Smith throwing again. Over the middle, complete. That's Tucker. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd down.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area. And after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Throwing is Smith. They'll let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Smith. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have the Raiders first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Throwing again is Smith. Now he's going to step up and run. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
Second down and a yard. Now it's Smith. That's caught by Tucker. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
That's good for a Las Vegas first down. First and 10 at the 11-yard line.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. The kick by Carlson is good, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD, and it comes on the third drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far, finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
35-yard line.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the Orlando studios. Scott Hansen with you for a quick halftime report. We'll let both sides catch their breath and get their orange wedges as we're going to get ready for the third quarter action. So let's go back out to the stadium as we rejoin our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Scott, thanks very much. And we welcome all of you back here on EA Sports for quarter number 3. Ready for the second half. 14-3 our score as we are back underway on EA Sports. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Raider offense ready to go here to start the third quarter. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
That's Mayer, the tight end. And he is going to lose yardage here. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down. I don't know how well our microphones are picking it up for those of you at home, but Charles, you and I can hear it. A lot of groans right now coming from this crowd.
I don't know if we're picking up what's happening in the stadium or from the people who are supporting this team at home because it's coming through loud.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's third and long. They'll set up to throw. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still fourth down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on second down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. Looking to put a drive together. Nix to the air. A short one to the tight end, Troutman. Will go down as a gain of 6. And that will bring up second down.
How about the timing on that one? Where they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. To throw is Nix. He's got a man, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 27 yards there, a first down.
Broncos, first down. A gain of 27 on the play. First down, Broncos.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. Gain of just 1.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
They work now on 2nd and 9. Off the play fake, here's Nix. A short throw to Ingram. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And at third down and 6 to go.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Here's 3rd and 6. Here's Nix. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a first down. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there, I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
He targets Ingram for another grab. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
That's another Broncos first down. First and goal at the 9-yard line.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a first and goal.
Off the bootleg, here's Nix. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Malcolm Kuntz. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
Well, that's not how you hope to draw it up there on 1st and goal, CD, by taking a sack like that.
Well, they tried to be aggressive, didn't they? They didn't want to try and work their way past the goal line. They wanted it right there on that play. Unfortunately, it backfired against them. Now they have to try and pick it up here moving forward.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further.
Here's a quick throw out to Mims.
2 yards on the pickup there. And that will lead to a 3rd and goal.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown grab.
And the Broncos will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
Partner, they had a good lead as they went in at the half, and they came out here in the 2nd half and found a way to extend it. I love their consistency. Don't worry about what they said at halftime. This seemed like a team that was ready to play 60 minutes, and while this game is far from over, I love their approach.
Wants to try to add the PAT. And it's 21-3. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Looking to put a drive together. Back to throw, Smith. And the Broncos get there and take him down.
John Franklin Myers, the one in there to drop him.
You can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Up the middle, it's Genty.
Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the 4th. Now Smith. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, And you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
He's moving, boys, he's moving.
Desperation time for Smith on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
They'll start by running the option to the right. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Excellent job on the keeper. 20 yards and a first down.
All right, I don't want to get too poetic here where they talk about, the eyes being the windows of the soul. You know what else the eyes do? They see the open spaces on a field, and those eyes carry your legs to those spots, and that's what happened on that play. He saw an opening and went and got it.
Well, he really hasn't ran the ball all game. Fourth quarter here, need a big play, able to pick it up. So whatever the eyes saw and created, it worked. So nothing doing there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Throwing Nix. He'll swing this out to Harvey. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
They'll try and throw. Here's Nix. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Harvey. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Will Lutz for the Broncos field goal. A 19-yard attempt.
The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game. And sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Those short little routes probably going to be open. The defense, they'll let those happen, especially when they can make an inbounds tackle.
Yeah, where's Coach Madden when you need him? He always talked about taking what the defense gives you, but sometimes you have to know when you have to take more. That was one of those situations.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Bowers. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. A 3-score game here late. You could probably rule out the comeback, but Certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Now Gino. Over the middle, he's got Thornton. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. It's a gain of 22 as we tick towards the 2-minute warning.
Those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th, but a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Gino now to throw. And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Alex Singleton making the play defensively. And it has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better?
Trey Tucker from 8 yards out. And the Raiders are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And this is up and good. That'll make it a score now of 24-10. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Broncos are going to get the football. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. The Broncos about set to go on offense. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the 4th quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much. We've got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on first down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. To throw, here's Nix. And he is going to have goes first, and that should be the capper. Now the Raiders going to burn their third and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
First down, Denver.
Game in hand, the offense takes the knee.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And even playing on the road, the class of this ball club just too much to overcome.
Yeah, and deep down, I think even the fans knew how this one was going to turn out. All right, they just came to support their team, hoped they'd see some good football, and they did. But they didn't really expect their team to win. In fact, they probably came in and said, let's win the tailgate. Because that's where we have the advantage, and I bet they did that.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Las Vegas.